In today's video, we're going to be looking at 10 under 23 players that I think will explode next season on Sorare. And if you are interested in signing up to Sorare, there's a link in the description of this video that will get you one free limited card once you've purchased 5 from the new card auctions on Sorare. Intro's out the way, let's get straight into the video. So the first player I have on my radar is Lyon's Ryan Cherokee, as you can see on the screen here, 18 years old, and he recently did feature in my injured under 23 players video because he is right now still injured with a metatarsal injury, but should be ready for next season. We know he has the ability to be a world-class player in the next few years. It's just whether or not he gets the opportunity to do so at Lyon. You know, whether he needs to go on loan or not, I don't know. Will these opportunities come up for him at Lyon? Hopefully, you know, next season. If there is a few departures, you know, Uwa might move. There's a few players, you know, in that sort of position that he likes to vacate, you know, could potentially move on. But as you can see, he can score decently well, right? We see here there's a few dark green scores, you know, when he does play, when he does get given a chance. But there's far too many oranges and yellows, meaning that he's just coming off the bench, right? You know, when he does settle into a team and, you know, he's playing 90 minutes every game, I think he really will have a massive impact in terms of SO5 scoring because of his set piece capabilities, right? So I was looking at Football Talent Scout on Twitter. If you don't follow him, you should. He knows a lot about young footballing talent. But in 2019, he wrote an article on Ryan Cherokee when he was 16. And he does this for loads of players, so we'll have a look at a few more of these in this top 10 video. But yeah, he just like lists their strengths and weaknesses and then their style of play. So as you can see here, his passing's very strong, vision, creativity, technique, ambidextry, which is obviously both footed, which is very, very rare, I think, ball control and dribbling. And then he's strong on pace, first touch and set pieces, which is what we want as an SO5 player. And then his weaknesses is defensive contributions. And I think that is what is letting him down right now in terms of like, I know he's injured, so he wouldn't be playing anyway. But when he has been, you know, fit, I just feel like defensively doesn't offer enough for a like top European club, and that is something that I think he needs to work on. Perfectly two-footed, competent set piece taker, which is massive because, you know, the more chances you create as an SO5 player, the higher your score is going to be effectively, and the more chance of getting an assist / even scoring yourself, right? He always gives a rating out of 10 in terms of like how good he thinks the player could be. And for Cherokee, he said 10 out of 10 world-class potential, which is a big thing. This guy, like, honestly, you've probably heard of him, but if you haven't, like, he seriously knows his stuff about, you know, young talented players. We know there's always risks involved with young players, whether they're going to get the chance, whether they develop properly, but that's number 1 out of the way. Let's get into player number 2. The next player on the list is Eduardo Kamaye of Real Madrid and France. Still only 19 years old, obviously got his big move to Real Madrid. And he hasn't seen that much playing time, if we're honest, as you can see on his SO5 scores here. You know, there's a few nice dark greens, but like again with Cherokee, majority coming off the bench. And you know, you're going to expect that, you know, when an 18, 19-year-old gets signed by Real Madrid, they don't normally just jump straight into the team. We saw that with like Vinicius Jr. Despite how talented they are / could be, you know, they take time. I think I saw an interview, the Kamavinga said that he was almost sick after his first training session with Real Madrid. So obviously the intensity goes up, the quality goes up, the demands go up, right? If you're going to be trying to play at one of the best clubs in the world, even though he was at a decent club in Rennes, you know, there's still a massive gap there. But it seems like he's settling in a little bit now. He made a massive contribution in the Champions League when he came on, and I just think next season could be a really big season for him in terms of like really becoming an SO5 player, you know, where you're able to play them every week and expect like a very, very decent score from him. He's obviously in a very dominant team, so you expect him to get on the ball a lot. Just looking at his SofaScore stats here, like right now he's averaging like 1.6 tackles a game and just under a dribble a game. And yeah, there's like not much really to look at, you know, 2 goals, no assists. He's only started 7 games, to be fair, played 18. He's only averaging 38 minutes a game. So I don't think we're going to see, even next season, even if he is like a 90-minute player next season, I don't see him like scoring and assisting like a crazy ton of goals. But I really think like just his AA game could really, really improve. And it obviously will improve if he's playing 90 minutes, of course. I really do think he'll be the player that, you know, is maybe alongside Modric and Kroos, who is like chopping up the play. Kind of what Tuamenchi does for Monaco right now. I know there's rumours actually of him going to Real Madrid, so I don't know how that would impact Camavinga's playing time. If nothing really comes through in terms of transfers, I do think Camavinga could nail down a starting spot next season and really kick on AA score-wise. I'm not sure, decisively. I know he can score goals. I've seen him. He's got a wicked strike on him. I really think his range of passing and his defensive contributions can really combine to create a good AA player for sure. So let's move on to player number 3. The next player on our list is Daniel Bukanga of Sporting Lisbon. He's 22 years old now, so I think next season could be the season where we see him break through. He's scored some really decent scores when he's played. He's got 100 here with a decisive of 60, all-round score 39, a 79 here, 77, 78 over the last year. But again, a load of substitute appearances. And that's probably going to be a theme in this video. The reason why we think they're going to break out next season and they haven't done already is because they're coming off the bench too often, / they're not playing at all, right? So in the hope, obviously, the next season these players do break through and, become players that you can trust SO5-wise next season. And Football Talent Scout, again, did write an article on Daniel Bukanga in 2017. So this is a while ago now, to be fair. He was 17 at the time, mainly plays defensive midfield / centre mid. Some of his strengths: passing, technique, tactical intelligence, vision, ball control, creativity, teamwork, first touch, and maturity. His weaknesses: he needs to improve on his strength and his aerial duels. Obviously, he's like 4 or 5 years older now, so you'd hope that he's sort of matured into his body in that sense, and those things could come. Basically a deep line playmaker, as it says here. Likes to play a lot of through balls, has a nice range of passing. He finds himself best in positional attack and a high number of touches and passes per game. But you can maybe expect like a really good AA score, and racking up those passing points, key passes, attempted assists, and with the added bonus of maybe defensive contributions, playing in that deep line role, obviously defending against the other team's number 10 or number 8 or whatever it is. So you would like to think that he would have the chance to make those interceptions, tackles, ground duels, etc. So I think there is definitely room for an SO5 player in Daniel Bukanga for sure. But it looks like there's going to be a few departures at Sporting. Mateo Nunes, there's a few centre mids maybe that might be on their way. That gives him a chance to break through next season, which I am super excited about, to be fair. The next player on our list is Salzburg's Sekou Koita, who is actually injured right now. As you can see here, a load of DMPs. He's been out for a long time, but this guy has a crazy track record of scoring goals. So as you can see here in the 2020-21 Austrian Bundesliga season, played 17 matches, only started 8 and scored 14 goals, providing 4 assists. 1.2 key passes a game as well, which is crazy. As you can see, he was taking penalties as well. There's not much data on him in terms of, Sorare itself. Being under 23 until 2024, definitely an under 23 striker in here waiting to happen and waiting to explode, I think, as long as he's sort of able to get back fit properly and get a place in the team as well. Obviously, Adeyemi looks like he's going to move, maybe to the Bundesliga, to Dortmund. I'm not too sure, but there's definitely rumours about that. So hopefully that paves the path for Koita to get back into the team and start scoring goals again. So yeah, I think he could be a nice little gem for next season. Number 5 on our list is Divine Wrench of Ajax and the Dutch national team. Still only 19 years old. Seen a lot of game time from the bench this season, which is very annoying because we know he can score crazy high. Having a look at these, 300, which is nuts. I've not seen many SO5 graphs like this of a 19-year-old with 300s here, especially as a defender as well. That's just with an AA score, which is nuts. He did get a decisive in this game with a decent AA, and again, he's got 3 decisives in this game, and his AA game was 51, which is like, he basically scored 130, which is just wild. But as you can see, a load of DMPs and a load of appearances off the bench as well, which has been disappointing, but we know why. Mazauri has been unbelievable this season, and it looks like that he is going to move next season on a free, I think. I'm not sure where Mazauri is going to end up, but I do think that paves the way for Wrench to get into the team. As you can see this season on SofaScore, his stats aren't anything to really shout about. Played 15 games, only started 6, 1 goal, 1 assist. But you can expect these stats to really take off if he does become, the number 1 right back at Ajax. His attacking contributions could be crazy, and we could see like some really good AA scores, as well as the bonus of obviously, getting those decisives along the way as well. Number 6 on our list is Arda Grueller for Fenerbahce and Turkey. This kid's only 17 years old, so he's the youngest on our list by a long way as well, to be honest. Recently been seen in the headlines, came off the bench last week, got a goal and an assist for Fenerbahce. And yeah, this kid looks a real deal, I'll be honest. He looks really, really good. He's an attacking midfielder that just loves to get a decisive right now. And Football Talent Scout has made an article on him as well back in June 2021. He was 16 at the time, to be fair. This guy rates him like really highly. He thinks he's a very similar player to David Silva. In terms of his strengths, he's quick, passing, creativity, vision, technique, ball control, agility, dribbling, set pieces. Okay, that's big. Very strong at set pieces is what we want to see. Versatility, crossing, first touch, flair, and ambidextry as well. Similar to Cherokee, he can play off both feet, which is massive. It says he needs to work on his physical strength. He's obviously only 17, so he's got a few years to really grow into his body. Style of play, advanced playmaker, can also play deep as well. Very intelligent, creative, highly technical. We'll most likely see him rack up those entrances to the box. And obviously, if he's very technical, then a load of assists, hopefully goals as well. But yeah, I really think the set piece specialist comment here is big, basically because, as we know, more chance of decisives, attempted assists, big chances created, etc. Again, Football Talent Scout rates him as a 10 out of 10 prospect, world-class potential, which is the exact same comment that he made about Cherokee as well. So I think these two could light up the European footballing scene over the next few years for sure. I really do think next season Fenerbahce are going to give him like a massive role in their team, and hopefully we can see him start most games and just be a vocal point for their team, hopefully taking set pieces. But yeah, it looks like that this kid could be the real deal for sure. The next player on our list is Xavi Simons of PSG, who I do really think has a good chance of breaking through next season at PSG. I know they're not renowned for giving chances to youth players. I know they bought him from Barca, but he sort of comes through their under 16s, under 18s setup at PSG. And I do think this kid could make it at PSG. Looking at his SO5 scores here, there's nothing to really shout about. He's made a few substitute appearances off the bench. Similar type of player of Renato Sanchez, who we know does score very well in SO5, and Mino Raiola is his agent as well. So probably a plus if we want to see Xavi Simons really kick on in his career. Going through some of his strengths, his pace, acceleration, technique, ball control, passing, vision, creativity, dribbling, versatility, weaknesses, defensive positioning. Just somebody who I think could really take advantage of like PSG's problems in that sense. Like there's probably going to be a load of departures from PSG in the summer if I had to guess. Yeah, and I think PSG really need to start giving youth players a chance. And I think this kid does have what it takes to sort of vacate one of those midfield positions next season. He rates him a 9 out of 10, has the potential to become a key player in a top European club. Hopefully big things to come for Xavi Simons over the next year. Next on our list is Fabio Vieira of FC Porto. And again, another attacking midfielder, has a wand of a left foot. I'd say like he has broken through a lot this season. Don't get me wrong. He's played a lot of games, as you can see here, back-to-back hundreds, couple of 70s, a 90 here. But again, a load of appearances off the bench as well. And I just really think the next season will be where Vieira is like a nailed-on starter every game. Like he only really came into the team this season because Taremi was a little bit off. And if Alisson was playing well, they normally play with two number 9s, but they reverted to playing Vieira as like in a 10 role. And yeah, he thrived, to be fair. And then he went off the boil a little bit, as you can see here, over the last few weeks. But last weekend, he did come off the bench and get himself a goal and played really well. Got a 79 in like 16 minutes or something. I really, really rate him. I think he's got what it takes to be an SO5 monster, if I'm completely honest. As you can see, take set pieces, right? So which is huge. 3 goals, 11 assists this season, only starting 9 games, which is frightening. 1.3 key passes a game, and he's created 12 big chances this season as well. This guy is just what you want in an SO5 player, right? Really high AA with creative abilities, and then obviously set pieces as well, with the added bonus of the assists and goals. If there's a few departures at Porto to where it really allows Fabio Vieira to come through and really kick on next season consistently, I really think that has a high probability of happening next season. Next on our list is Spain international and FC Barcelona player Ansu Fati. I did mention him in my injury video as well, to be fair, because again, he is injured still. But looks like he's actually going to come back in the next few weeks, which is looking positive. But yeah, I think next season under Xavi, I really see Fati like kicking on massively. With a team that Xavi's sort of getting together, I really see there being just like a massive combination of like high scoring games for Barcelona where they just dominate games, and there's just a load of decisives to sort of go around, right? Ferran Torres, Fati, Dembele, Pedri, Gavi, Frankie de Jong. There's like 6 or 7 players in those front 6 positions to where I think it's going to be a bit of a lottery in terms of like who gets the decisives. But I really think they could kick on and sort of emulate the, you know, the Barcelonas of old, right? But I still think Fati, if he's fit, is one of the first names on the team sheet for Barcelona. I do think he could become a generational talent. I am biased. I do own a Fati. This is not me pumping in. This is just me just giving my honest opinion. But yeah, I honestly think with the group of players that they've sort of assembled at Barcelona, ready for next season, I just see them being like super hungry and really wanting to take European football again in their stride. So yeah, hopefully Fati can really kick on next season and avoid injuries. The last player on our list is Jamal Musiala of Bayern Munich and Germany, even though he's technically English. But this kid has serious potential. 19-year-old starting for Bayern Munich, albeit, you know, maybe because of injuries. Goretzka is out. You know, you can look at it that way. I think he offers something in the position he's playing right now, in that sort of like midfielder number 8 role, which I didn't really see him have into his game. I thought he's more of a winger when he first really broke onto the scene a couple of years ago. It looks like Nagelsmann really does rate him. His breakout season was probably this season, but in terms of breakout season, I mean SO5 wise, to where, you know, you could play them every game and you know they're going to get like some very, very high scores. And as you can see on his SO5 graph here, he scored some really, really nice scores. A load of 80s, high 70s, some 60s, but again, a load off the bench as well. There's always going to be massive competition at Bayern, so like it's really hard to say that like this kid's going to be nailed on next season, you know, like I can't say that about anyone. I'm not the managers of these clubs. This is just speculation and my opinions, of course. And you can do what you want with that information. But yeah, for me, he has what it takes to really, really nail down the starting spot alongside Kimmich, I think. Goretzka's injuries are worrying. And I just see Musiala being a fresh, young, energetic player where Nagelsmann can really rely on to link the defense and attack. So yeah, I do see his AA game really improving. I think that's one of the main takeaways, is like you want these young players to be playing in ball dominant teams to where, you know, they have more probability of getting decisives and key passes and attempted assists because they're on the ball more, right? They're dominating games more. They're able to create things. And yeah, that's probably the biggest takeaway I would say from this video, is make sure you're looking at players who like are going to play in very good teams. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please leave it a like, and if you are new around here, please subscribe to the channel. Good luck for this upcoming game week, and I shall see you guys in the next video.